The school insists it provides an inclusive and supportive environment for all students.
What garbage. Now, here's how it works. If this was the Lord's Prayer, it would make sense. It's an overt Christian observance. But the idea that the national anthem at a school assembly is a celebratory occasion? What rubbish. Now, if there are some hardline parents who demand that their kids cannot be part of anything where there's music in the same room, well, then those kids in and of themselves get up and go. The problem here is not the kids. The kids are doing what their parents tell them to do. The problem here is the social engineering, the educators who turn around, and despite the banner of the school being many communities but one culture, that culture doesn't extend to our own national anthem. So you would think that when the Victorian Education Department hears about that, they would see this is a public school. It's paid for by your and I's money. And the national anthem is not anything that breaches anyone's religious observance. Think again. Here's what The Age is reporting this evening. The department backs the school among the national anthem furor. Now, in the coming days, no doubt, there will be all the sorts of eye-rolling and carrying on at anyone who has a problem with this. Again, how can you blame the kids? They're just doing what their parents and their religious leaders have taught them to do. I blame the teachers who, despite professing that we're all one culture, have done nothing but teach a lesson to these kids about the difference of their faith, the difference of their faith to the rest of the school community. If you are somebody who does not want to observe the singing during a holy month and you're at a public school, just sit in silence. Why is the song and dance about removing the kids? And why is the school backing this in? I wish we didn't have to talk about this stuff.
I wish it didn't as well, Paul, because you got it exactly wrong. It's not many communities, one culture. It's many cultures, one community. Now, someone in your position should be able to get something as simple as that right, especially when that's what you base the rest of your argument upon. Now, the point of teaching kids about all the various different cultures that make up their community is not to make everybody feel as though they are part of the one culture, as though everybody is the same. The point is to teach kids about the different cultures that do make up their community, so when someone does something different to the way that they do it, or their parents do it, it is not frightening for them. It's not something they need to be fearful of, or something that needs to be defended against. That's exactly where this new nationalist agenda is coming from, an irrational fear of the unknown. Now, you say you didn't have any problem with the kids walking out. You say you didn't have any problem with their motivations behind walking out. What you had a problem with was the teacher who said they were allowed to walk out. Now, when you're a kid and you're at school assembly, if you just got up and walked out, what would happen? Even if the teachers knew exactly why you were doing it, you'd have every other kid in the school looking at you, wondering why. Again, that brings in the fear of the unknown. If you make something known, people know to be fearful of it or not. Kids leaving assembly to adhere to their faith is not something that needs to be feared. You said singing the national anthem is not a celebration. Now, I think the first line of the national anthem disputes that fact, and if joyful strains are not the act of celebrating, I don't know what is. You got it wrong, Paul. This and so many other things, you got wrong. See ya.